Some serious business. If you're a single parent, how soon do you introduce your child to the person you're dating? It has been a big concern, especially when you open the door unwittingly and allow a monster in your home with your child. We've seen case after case. For example, the tragic Maleah Davis case, where the mother says her boyfriend killed her daughter this year and buried the baby girl's remains in Arkansas. But do single parents see the warning signs or the writing on the wall? I did a brief Google search and found case after case where the man or woman, a single parent, was dating, harmed, molested, or killed their child. So how do you know when to trust that person with your child? Today we have brought together a large group of single parents to ask that very question. When do you trust someone enough to bring them around your child? Here to talk about this is Vanessa Ruiz, John Michael Milburn, Luis Valle, Laurie Garza, Angela Trujillo, Georgette Yvonne Smith, Christopher Cannon, and Divine Goff. And I've ruined all of your names. But it's a Friday night. It's a Friday night, so we're going to begin here. First of all, as a single parent, is it difficult to date in the beginning?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. Is that a general question? Yes. Absolutely.
So what makes it difficult?
It's just the fact of not knowing who you're bringing around. And I mean, kids, they don't know it. I mean, they're innocent, you know, but the person that you bring around, it just depends. They could have a record that you don't know about. I mean, you're dating them. You're not running a criminal history on them. You know what I mean?
And is that important before you take anyone around your child to run a criminal history background check?
It should. It should.
Even throw in a credit check.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So tell me why that's important to you as a single parent.
Just need to ensure that your children are safe. You don't know what life brings, and again, these people, you don't know who they are. As we've seen, a lot of people will tell you there are a lot of things that they're not. And the last thing I think any of us or any parent would want to find out is the hard way.
Right. And of course, like I said, we learned the hard way with Maleah Davis here, where the boyfriend allegedly killed her and dumped her body in Arkansas. Is it difficult for men, if you are a single parent, to bring a woman around your child?
Absolutely, and I think it goes to a different perspective. Like with women, they're more about protecting their children from men, from a violent standpoint. But with men, especially in my standpoint, it's bringing the emotional aspect of a woman.
Right.
You know, I've already gone through one divorce. When you break up with a woman and your kids start asking questions, hey, where's this woman at? It's like putting them emotionally through another divorce. So I think as men, we try to protect them emotionally more than physically.
And from your perspective as a man dating.
Well, to add to what he's saying, anybody that you bring around, any relationship that you have, be it, you know, a personal relationship, business relationship, whatever, anybody that you bring around your children, they're going to have some sort of an echoing effect on that child. Now, like he said, go through a divorce, kid has to live through that, kid has to deal with that, they've got to make a mental process, and you've got to do what you can as a father. That, I mean, let's just be real quick with that. As a father, you don't have as many open doors to you as a single dad. I mean, just in the work industry. I can't go, hey, Timmy's sick, I got to go get Timmy.
Right.
Right? I can, but then they're going to get a little sad about it, and then I'm going to find another job.
Right.
Right? So we've got to play double duty just like they've got to play double duty.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Main concern that we've got is the emotional and physical welfare of our kid. I bring any one of these people around my child, she's going to learn from them, she's going to see things happening, she's going to hear conversations, and she's going to take that and move forward, right? So those will have echoing effects on her later. If we don't do our due diligence as parents before we bring these people to our child, we're allowing that to happen. We're enabling that damage to happen to our child.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
First and foremost, protect the kids.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So,
let's bring some of the moms on the back row into this conversation. When you, and if you decide to bring someone home to meet your child, do you prepare your child mentally and say, this is just a friend, this is not daddy? How do you prepare your child for that?
I usually tend to kind of let them know, you know, this is a friend. I like doing more of a party activity, somewhere where we are out in public, you know, just try to engage, you know, to have them form some sort of bond to kind of understand, you know, because coming from a divorce, my son dealt with depression and, you know, a lot of anxiety and things like that due to his, you know, father being in the military, PTSD type thing. So he saw a lot, and, you know, and at a young age. And so now I just feel like it's more important for them to connect more on an emotional level, to understand each other, you know, and now actually I'm currently in a relationship, and I mean, he has custody of his children, you know, and now dealing with teenagers, dealing with my little ones as toddlers, it's a whole new world, you know, and especially trying to get the kids to all kind of get along with each other, and it's been great so far, but I mostly just kind of prepare them as far as, you know, as a friend, you know, we're getting to know each other. I always encourage them to let me know anything that they're thinking, anything that they're feeling. Don't be afraid to tell me anything. I mean, because first and foremost, I'm going to believe my child first before I do any man. You know, if they come to me with something, I'm going to put a stop to it immediately until I can get to the bottom of it, because there's just, you just never know, you know, these days. It's very difficult and very hard.
Now let's go to the second mom on the back row. What if your child just simply don't like the person you've brought home, even though you're deeply in love with this person? How do you deal with that?
I would try to figure out why they don't like the person and try to side with my child, because my child comes first. I can't put somebody else before my child, even if I love them, because there's got to be a reason, and I got to protect them. It's my job to protect them, so I can't always put somebody first.
Now, is there, to the next mom, is there a time limit that you give yourself to bring that child home, to bring that person you're dating home to meet your child?
It takes me a while to for my daughter to even be introduced to anybody. I don't go on dates, and she'll know I'll go out, but she doesn't know the people. You know, I don't give her too much information because it's not her business yet, you know, and I don't want her emotionally involved at her age, because she's already going through so much, being an 11-year-old and puberty, and it's like a whole new world right now, and I'm just not trying to freak her out more. So like, I casually date, but like right now I'm just more concentrating on her, because you can't trust anybody these days. And I've learned that the hard way. So she's a little damaged from other things, but she's, you know, she's gonna be a teenager, and I can't, you know, traumatize her just for like dating and wanting to be with somebody. So I'm waiting for her to be ready, because that way we can both be ready, you know?
Yeah.
And
now,
do that together.
one of the things, we did a poll on my Facebook page, and most people said it would take 6 months to a year before they would introduce the person they're dating to their child. Too long, not long enough? Your thoughts on that time limit?
I'd say 4 to 6 months is a good time period. I mean, I wouldn't want to keep introducing people over and over and over. I mean, they're gonna get confused. I mean, Daddy, how many friends do you have? Right?
That's very true.
How many aunties do I have? Right? What about you?
The same. I think 4 to 6 months, even 6 to a year is good too. I mean, it just varies. It depends. It's really not a time frame. It's a trust frame.
Yes.
You know what I
There you
mean?
go.
You have to like really trust the person to come around your kids. Period.
Yeah.
Because nowadays you could be with somebody for 10 years, and then that's when they do the molestation to the children.
You're exactly right about
You know
that.
what I mean? You
It's
can't
the
put a
closest
time frame. It's
ones.
more of a trust frame.
I think 4 to 6 months is it's a good time period though, because people can only put up a front for so long. Like when you go on a first date, like everyone's got their perfect face on.
Yep.
But you know, after 4 to 6 months, I mean, they're gonna slip up. They're gonna show you their true self. I mean,
The
they're
true
gonna-
self comes
they're
out when you
gonna-
start living
they're
together.
They're gonna post something on Facebook
usually
or
doesn't even
Instagram
take
and
that
be
long,
like, wait a
so.
minute.
Wait a minute. Red flag. I
Exactly.
wish every man came with a cautious sign like the medicine bottles. We'd be
We
okay.
need a man fact.
Here's the side effects.
Side effects, yes.
I usually give it about 6 months for multiple reasons. That's for me to gauge that person, to gauge the relationship that we've built, to ensure that we are ready to take that step. I also use that time to gauge whether I'm ready to take that step. Is this something I want to pursue seriously, or is this something I just kind of want to continue to take casually and see where it goes? I also use it to see how my child is. Is this a good time to introduce my child to this person? Because typically, my child won't have met this person. They maybe would hear me on the phone with them, see them in passing, but there's not have been that one-on-one with them. So I really want to give my child that time to sit them down, talk to them, let them know what mommy's plans are and what to expect. So I think 6 months, again, trust is a big thing, but typically at 6 months, if I'm not ready or we're not ready to introduce children even during a play date as friends, then I kind of see it as what's the point in going further.
All right. We want to thank
That
you
makes
all
sense.
for coming on The Factor Uncensored. Great job.
Thank you for
And you
having
guys
us.
have a Facebook page, right?
Absolutely.
Single parents. Give me the name of that Facebook page.
Single parent life, and then we might be updating it, but it's single parents life.
All right. Thank you
Yeah.
guys
Thank
for
you
joining
so
us and
much.
for your
Thank
information.
you.